All right, welcome back to the deep dive. I'm definitely ready to jump in today because, wow, yesterday was just an absolute whirlwind on the diamond.
It really was. Some key games.
Totally. We've got a stack of fresh insights, articles, all that good stuff right here, all hot off the press from yesterday's action.
Mm-hmm.
Our mission today, well, it's pretty clear. We're going to extract the most important nuggets, the key takeaways from these sources.
Right. Not just the box scores.
Exactly. We're not just recapping scores. We're going deep on three really compelling matchups. Games that showed, dominant pitching, powerful hitting, high-stakes drama.
Everything you want.
Yeah, everything we love about baseball. These games, honestly, they felt like more than just regular season games. Almost like a preview of potential playoff battles.
I agree. Setting the stage.
Definitely setting the tone for this final stretch. It's going to be thrilling.
And that's spot on. What's so interesting here is, like you said, these weren't just box scores you glance at.
Right.
They were unfolding storylines, rich with tactical stuff, psychological lessons for the teams.
Mm-hmm.
So for us, for you listening, this deep dive is kind of your shortcut. Get you well informed on the key moments, those aha insights from these really pivotal games.
Explaining not just what happened, but why it actually matters.
Exactly, why it matters. These games really do give you a perfect little microcosm of why the sport is just so great.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Game one.
Let's do it.
The Houston Astros. A 7-2 victory over the Baltimore Orioles. When you look at that game, what specifically jumps out as the most telling aspect of their performance? Because my notes say this wasn't just a win, it felt like
No.
a masterclass.
Yeah, masterclass is a good word. Controlled aggression, strategic dominance. You nailed it.
So what stood out?
What immediately comes to mind, building on that, is Verlander's performance. Justin Verlander.
Vintage Verlander.
It wasn't just vintage, though. It was smart. It was a tactical masterclass in, pitch sequencing.
Yeah.
Especially against that young, kind of aggressive Orioles lineup.
How so?
Well, Verlander consistently located his fastball up, high in the zone. That high heat, look at the ball, maybe catches the upper corner.
The four-seamer with rise.
Exactly. And he paired that with that sharp slider. Low and away, mostly. Got the Orioles hitters chasing.
And the Orioles, their numbers against high fastballs, that's been a bit of an issue, right?
It's a known vulnerability this season.
Yeah.
And Verlander just exploited it. Surgical precision. Pitched 7 strong innings, too.
Wow, 7.
Yeah. Only gave up those 2 runs late. Showed efficiency and power. Really impressive.
That's a great point about the high fastball strategy. Okay, offensively then. Yordan Alvarez. Huge home run.
Monster shot.
Was that just Alvarez being Alvarez, MVP caliber stuff? Or was there something more in the Astros' whole offensive approach that kind of demoralized Baltimore?
It was definitely Alvarez's brilliance. I mean, you can't ignore that. But it was also, I think, a reflection of Houston's whole approach. They're so disciplined.
Very patient. They weren't just up there hacking. They worked counts, waited for good pitches, and then boom, they capitalized.
Right.
Alvarez's homer, actually, that came on a pitch where he showed incredible discipline. He waited for his pitch, didn't chase, and that kind of patient aggression plus timely hitting from, multiple guys in the lineup.
Top to bottom.
Yeah. They were consistently turning walks, singles into actual scoring chances.
It's that championship formula, right?
Yeah.
Elite pitching, discipline, powerful offense. It's just built for October pressure.
So let's flip it. For the Orioles, tough loss against a team like Houston. Is this just, a bad day at the office, or does it maybe expose a specific weakness they need to fix before the postseason?
That's a really good question. And I think it's probably more than just a tough loss.
Okay.
For Baltimore, they've had an incredible season. Young talent, clutch hitting, amazing story.
Absolutely.
But this game, it felt like a stark reminder, of the gap that can still exist between a really, really good team and true championship contender.
The execution gap.
Exactly. Their inability to string hits together against Verlander, how they struggled, like we said, laying off those high fastballs or adjusting to the slider, that highlights a strategic vulnerability.
Which teams like Houston will find?
They're experts at exposing that stuff. So, yeah, it's a valuable lesson. A bit of humility, maybe, makes them confront those fine margins.
Right. The difference between winning in July and winning in October.
Precisely. It underscores the adjustments, maybe in scouting, maybe approach against elite arms that they might need if they really want to compete deep into the playoffs.
Okay. From one potential playoff preview to, well, a classic rivalry game. Very different kind of message here.
Oh, yeah.
Let's turn to the AL East. Boston Red Sox. A decisive 6-3 win against the New York Yankees. What made this game feel like more than just one win for Boston, especially given, their fight for a playoff spot?
Well, what's really compelling here, I think, is the psychological lift, the momentum.
Yeah.
For the Red Sox, a team that's been, let's face it, pretty inconsistent.
Up and down.
Right. To beat their arch rivals, the Yankees, and to do it against Jarrett Cole, who had, an uncharacteristically rough outing.
Very uncharacteristic for him.
That's a massive confidence boost. It's not just a notch in the win column. It feels like a statement. Resilience. Like they've found some swagger again right when they need it.
You could feel it at Fenway, especially after the Devers homer.
Oh, the energy was electric after that Rafael Devers shot. Absolutely. That connection, team, and crowd, that can be such a powerful catalyst late in the season.
Definitely. And speaking of Devers homer,
Yeah.
it really did seem to ignite the place. But was it just the big swings? What else got Boston's offense going? And maybe even more important, that bullpen.
The bullpen.
Yeah. Often a worry this season, right? How did they manage to hold strong?
Well, the offense first. It wasn't just Devers. It felt like a disciplined group effort. They were aggressive, yes, but smart aggressive. Early in counts against Cole if they got their pitch.
Attacking strikes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But also patient enough to work walks, make him throw pitches. Selective aggression, that's key.
Okay. And the bullpen.
Right, the bullpen. That might be the real story here for their playoff hopes. We saw guys like Schreiber, Kenley Jansen stepping up, making big pitches in high-leverage spots, shutting down a tough Yankees lineup late.
What was working for them?
Their secondary stuff looked sharp. Off-speed pitches located well, kept the Yankees off balance. It showed a kind of depth, a reliability.
That maybe wasn't always there earlier?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It had been missing for chunks of the season. That's huge going forward.
But, okay, let me push back a bit here. While it is a significant win, no doubt, can one victory, even against the Yankees, really turn things around for a team that's been so inconsistent?
That's a totally fair challenge. And no, a single game rarely guarantees a full turnaround.
Okay.
But what it can do is provide a catalyst, a spark.
Right.
The Red Sox didn't just scrape by here. They won convincingly. Strong offense, solid bullpen. It wasn't luck. They earned it. That kind of performance, it absolutely can ignite belief in that clubhouse, especially when you're scrapping for your playoff life like they are.
Okay. And on the flip side, the Yankees.
Yeah, for the Yankees. This loss, it's got to be frustrating. It kind of continues their recent struggles, that late season slide we've seen.
Yeah.
Cole not commanding his fastball consistently. The offense, again, not producing with runners in scoring position. It exposes some vulnerability. Raises serious questions about their readiness for a real playoff push. That's the bigger picture, I think. They've got some things to figure out, and fast.
Okay, speaking of things you might not have predicted, let's talk about the St. Louis Cardinals.
The upset.
Pulling off an impressive 7-4 win against the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah.
And doing it in Tampa Bay, which, is usually a really tough place to play.
A fortress, usually. Yeah.
This felt like a game of unexpected turns, clutch moments. What made this Cardinals win such a statement, you think?
Well, what's fascinating about this one is how the Cardinals managed to execute against that Rays pitching strategy. It's often unorthodox. Reliever parades, unique matchups.
The whole Rays pitching lab thing.
Exactly. And the Cardinals didn't seem rattled. They found a rhythm against a staff that's known, absolutely vaunted for shutting teams down.
So the statement is?
The statement is it shows their potential. When they put it all together, they can compete with the league's best. And it's also just a reminder, right? In baseball, no win is guaranteed.
Especially against a team maybe playing loose.
Especially against a team fighting to stay relevant, maybe playing with nothing to lose. Huge morale boost for St. Louis.
And leading that charge, Paul Goldschmidt, perennial MVP candidate. He had a monster day.
Monster day is right.
Was that just Goldie being Goldie? Or did it kind of highlight a broader shift for that Cardinals offense, which, let's be honest, has been inconsistent?
Goldschmidt was absolutely pivotal, yeah. And it was leadership beyond just the hits.
How so?
His plate discipline against all those different Rays arms. It was just exemplary. He set the tone. He worked counts, forced them to come to him. And the rest of the offense, which, has been inconsistent, seemed to feed off that energy. They strung hits together, applied pressure.
Didn't just wait for the long ball.
Exactly. And their starter navigated that tricky Rays lineup pretty well. And the bullpen, off in a weak spot.
Held on.
Held off a late comeback attempt, made big pitches, that kind of complete game, top to bottom. That's a massive morale boost over there in St. Louis.
Okay, so for the Rays then, highly analytical team. Does a rare home stumble like this actually reveal a flaw? Or is it just, baseball being baseball sometimes?
Well, there's always some element of baseball being baseball, right?
Sure, randomness.
But for a team as structured, as meticulous as the Rays, a loss like this, yeah, it probably prompts some internal review.
What would they review?
Their pitching, usually so reliable, faltered at key moments, gave up more runs than usual for that staff.
Yeah.
It might not be a fundamental flaw in their strategy.
But execution.
But maybe they got out executed on the day. And, in a broader sense, this loss, this rare stumble, it's humbling. But maybe it serves a purpose.
How so? A wake-up call.
Exactly. A wake-up call. For a team that's consistently near the top, complacency, even just a tiny bit, can be dangerous.
Underestimating an opponent.
Yeah. Or just not being quite as sharp.
Yeah.
So this loss forces them to maybe reevaluate, refocus, come back with renewed urgency, which honestly could make them even stronger heading towards the postseason.
Okay, let's try and unpack this, bring it all together. Because yesterday's games, these three we talked about, they really did feel like a perfect microcosm of why baseball is so compelling.
Yeah, it was a great snapshot.
You had the high-stakes rivalries, you had individual brilliance like Verlander, like Goldschmidt, and then just those unpredictable outcomes. Makes every game feel like a must-watch. The Astros showing that championship blueprint, the Red Sox fighting for their playoff lives, the Cardinals reminding everyone, hey, the underdog can bite.
Absolutely. What's fascinating is how these games, taken together, they painted such a full picture, a really compelling picture of where the MLB landscape is right now.
Intense.
Super intense competition, these great rivalries heating up, and just that unpredictable drama that, keeps us all on the edge of our seats.
Right.
We're seeing teams peak, teams stumble a bit, teams finding that next gear right when it counts. It's really setting the stage for an unforgettable end to the regular season.
So the final thought then, for you listening, what does all this mean for your understanding of the league as we barrel towards the finish line?
Yeah.
As these teams look ahead, how much will these statement games, these wins, these losses, these moments of brilliance or humility, how much will they actually influence strategy, confidence, and ultimately who makes the cut?
Who gets into October?
Exactly. And maybe thinking ahead, what kind of strategic chess moves, maybe trades or call-ups might we see influenced by matchups like these? Keep watching these storylines unfold, because if yesterday showed us anything,
The best is yet to come.
absolutely, the best is definitely yet to come.